In this video, I'm going to show you how to fold a wonderful origami flower, Gaillardia, designed by Meenakshi Mukerji. Diagrams can be found in her new book, Wondrous One-Sheet Origami, which features many beautiful designs by herself, but also by Evan from Easy Origami, Dasha Severova, and Christian Beton. Do also check out her website, origami.net. Many of the designs are flat, so I think they're great for putting on a card as a centerpiece, like I did so here. Now, this flower I folded from a square sheet of paper with a side length of 21 centimeters or 8¼ of an inch. And then the flower itself has a diameter, this distance, of about 9.75 centimeters or 3 7/8 of an inch. And as you can see, it's fairly flat, so great for a card. Now I just attached this flower with some double-sided tape, so it's super easy and a very personal card. And do try out other color combinations, like red and pink, as Meenakshi used here. With Valentine's Day just around the corner, these might be the colors you want to go for. So let's get started. If you want a flower with a yellow center and red petals, start with the yellow side up. We're first going to crease horizontally and vertically. That's horizontally, then rotate to add the second crease. Try to work precisely to get a relatively symmetrical flower. And then we're also going to crease the diagonals. I find that, precision is nice, but at the same time, flowers aren't completely symmetrical either. So, if you're sometimes a little off and you don't get perfect symmetry, I don't think it's all that bad. But go for your best, because I do think that precision does make models look nicer. Now we're going to bring in the corners to the center. I actually like to start my creases right where you have these horizontal creases. I think that makes the whole thing slightly more precise versus bringing the point to the center. I find it a bit more difficult to work precisely like that. We're going to do that on all 4 sides. And then open up those creases again. Now we're going to fold in these tips to that crease line. And then we're going to fold in those splint folds. Now we're going to flip over the model, and we're going to fold kind of the angle bisectors of each of these sections. So to do that, we're going to bring kind of that point right here over to this diagonal, and that point right here over to that diagonal. So that point and that point go over, so this one aligns with that crease line and this one aligns with that crease line. And then the crease should run exactly through the center, can you see that here? The center of the square. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So we're bringing this one over there and this one over there. Again, aligning until we have them aligned perfectly. And here it's quite easy to get good precision, so go for it. And then we've got those two. Then we're going to rotate by 90 degrees and repeat. going to bring this one and that one over. Doesn't really matter in which order you do these creases, of course. And then this one and that one, these two, aligning them with the existing crease lines to get that nice radial creasing. There you go. Now we're going to flip over the model and we're going to fold in these corners right between those two crease lines. And like this, we're going to receive our octagon, because it's a kind of an 8-petaled flower, so we kind of need something with 8 sides, an octagon. There you go, that's our octagon. And now we're going to create an octagon inside here by bringing this edge to the central line and then creasing just between these two creases. Can you see that? These two creases. So you're just adding a crease right here. And then you go to the next one and you bring that one to the central crease, and again you're just going to crease between these two creases. So just going to align with the central crease line and then crease just right here, and then go on to the next one. Align and crease just between those two. And continue. You can make strong creases on all of these because we're really going for a relatively flat model. So, and all of these creases we're going to be collapsing on, these octagon creases, so they can be fairly strong. And I think that's it, yes. So now we have an octagon right here, and now we're going to create a smaller octagon within it by bringing this edge to the crease we just created, and then again just adding a crease between these two crease lines, which kind of form this long triangle which has two sections. So you have a central crease and then the two next to it. So I'm going to align the edge with the crease we just created, and then add a crease, a quite short crease, just between two crease lines. So you can see here that this is the crease line that we need to stop at, and same here, and you might have a small bend next to it, but that's okay. It's just the strong crease shouldn't be farther than that. And then you go around once. And then you have that small octagon within the larger one. Then we're going to flip this over, and you can see here we have that octagon, which is all valley folds, and a smaller one within, which is all mountain folds. Now we're going to add some creases, and they start right in one of the corners of the smaller octagon, and they go right through the center of one of the sides of the larger octagon. And then they extend right outwards until you reach the edge of that largest octagon. So what I like to do is just pinch those 2 points, make a crease between it, and then extend the crease. So I pinch right here, and then I pinch right there, then make a strong crease here, and once I have that, I just put that down, and then you can ensure that this point lies on the crease to get it nice and precise, and then you extend the crease out to the end. You can make a strong crease here. And then you repeat that all the way around, always pinching the two reference points and then aligning and extending the crease. And once you're round, we can start collapsing the model. Now for this, we're going to turn over the model and we're going to start in the corners of the large outer octagon and kind of pinch them into mountain folds. And we're going to have that middle octagon pop up. So you kind of get this tablecloth, I suppose. You know, a table with a tablecloth. You have this octagonal table popping up, and this, I guess, is the cloth that overlaps the edge of the table. So that's kind of the tablecloth shape. And now we want to collapse this inside on these other creases, and for that I'm going to turn over the model and then I'm going to pinch this again. From this side it's a valley fold. I'm just going to go along that crease that's also in this corner and push it up a little and press this together like that. You see that? So I'm kind of doing this. And then I just go around once. Just pushing that, and if this octagon kind of collapses on itself, I try to prevent that a little. And then just go around once. So once you've basically gone around once, it's going to start looking like this. Can you see that central octagon popping up? And all of these are kind of stuck together. And now we're going to flip this over, and you can see we've started the collapse, and these slightly diagonal creases we added are going to help us collapse. So we're just going to push this inside, and it's almost automatically going to want to go along the creases we just created. You might want to kind of clean up a fold here or there to make it a bit more precise, and then just collapse inside and then just fold over. I'm using relatively thick paper here. If you're using thinner paper, this might actually be slightly easier, but for the video I wanted to use kind of this duo colored paper, and I really liked the color combination. So as you can see, I turned it around and I'm just checking that that central octagon looks really nice and it doesn't twist too much, so that the point is about along that edge, and just pressing that flat. And once I'm happy with that, I kind of go along here and just press these creases flat so that the model's flatter. You can also, once the model's done, kind of put it underneath some heavy books for a night or so, and then it also strengthens those creases and makes the model extra flat. And there you go. Now we just have to finish the petals, so I'm just going to zoom in a little. So for finishing the petals, we're going to take this top layer here. I'm going to take that small edge and align it with that folded edge. Like that. And you can make a strong crease. Then I'm just going to unfold it, and I'm going to take that paper and bend it behind. Can you see that? I'm taking this and putting it to the back, and then pressing flat. This creates a new fold that lies along that crease right there. And then you do that all the way around. And then your Gaillardia, designed by Meenakshi Mukerji, is all done. Now, as I said, I recommend you slightly press this to get it super flat. Right now, for me, it's a little tilted, but not by much. And also, you know, if you're putting it on a card with tape, then just kind of taping down maybe 4 of these petals will make it stay flat. So, I hope you enjoyed this video on this wonderful model by Meenakshi Mukerji. And if you enjoyed it, you might enjoy her new book, Wondrous One-Sheet Origami. I can highly recommend it. It has a lot of really beautiful models in there. Here's another view of kind of some of them, a lot of flowers. There's actually also some butterfly designs in there, and contributions from guest designers. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and happy folding!